Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a strategy that literally defines the modern e-commerce battlefield. We're going to demystify marketplace policies for online sellers and take a close look at a concept that has the power to either scale your business overnight or completely ruin your account. It's called Latch-On selling. Whether you're a seasoned marketplace veteran or you're just starting to scale your online storefront, understanding these dynamics is absolutely critical.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover Latch-On selling basics, how the buy box actually works, valid versus invalid practices, the risks and rewards, and finally, the golden rules for safe selling. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Latch-On selling basics. Let's make sure we've got the core jargon locked down before we get into the algorithms. So, at its absolute simplest, Latch-On selling is a shortcut. Instead of building a brand new product page from scratch, you just bypass all of that and add your offer to an already existing listing. Think about it. Someone else did the heavy lifting. They took the photos, they wrote the killer bullet points. You are literally latching on to their listing, often called an ASIN, and skipping all that stressful photography and copywriting. Section 2. How the buy box works. Once multiple sellers jump on the exact same listing, we need to see how the marketplace actually handles that competition. This setup right here brilliantly illustrates the fierce competition we're dealing with. Picture a single product page for a stainless steel Oakley, a traditional mortar and pestle. Notice how we don't just have one seller, we've got three. Seller A is at 899 rupees, seller B undercuts them at 879 rupees, and seller C is sitting at 920. They are all fighting over the exact same digital real estate on the exact same page. Which brings up the million-dollar question. With three different sellers fighting for one single customer, who actually gets the sale when that customer hits the Buy Now button? The customer isn't usually picking between the sellers manually, right? They just want the item. So where does the money actually go? Well, the marketplace's internal buy box algorithm takes the wheel. In literal milliseconds, this system ruthlessly evaluates all the competing offers, weighing things like price, shipping speed, and your seller metrics to automatically route the order to just one of those sellers. Earning that buy box spot is the ultimate goal, because let's be real, the winner takes the lion's share of the sales. Section 3. Valid versus invalid latch-on. Now that we know the mechanics, let's break down how sellers actually apply this in the real world. The good, the bad, and the very ugly. Okay, scenario 1 is what we call a perfectly ethical, system-approved, valid latch-on. Say seller A creates a listing for a 10-liter stainless steel Balti under the brand SS Digital India. Seller B checks their own warehouse, realizes they have that exact, genuine, identical product from the exact same brand, and they add their offer to the listing. This is completely valid. They're competing on a level playing field to sell the exact same authentic item. This is the system working exactly as intended. But compare that to an invalid latch-on, and you are looking at a disaster waiting to happen. Imagine a customer orders a premium, branded brass Oakley, but the seller who won the buy box through latching on actually ships out a local, differing quality product instead. Sure, it might look kind of similar, but the brand is wrong, the weight is off, or the material just feels cheap. That is a massive platform violation. And worse, it completely shatters customer trust.
And that triggers a devastating chain reaction for the seller. It starts with the customer getting the item and immediately filing a wrong product complaint. Your return rates spike. Then come the brutal negative reviews. The algorithm catches on instantly, your account health metrics plummet. And if the original brand owner finds out, you're looking at severe intellectual property or IP complaints.
Then, things escalate into incredibly dangerous, legally fraught territory with what we call a fake brand latch-on. This is when a seller maliciously hijacks a branded listing, like our SS Digital India example, but completely without authorization and without possessing the authentic product. They're essentially using a brand's hard-earned good name to push their own fake or generic inventory.
Make no mistake, marketplaces do not take this lightly. It's severe abuse. Pulling a stunt like this will get you immediately flagged for trademark infringement, brand misuse, and counterfeit selling violations. This isn't just a slap on the wrist, folks. This brings in the legal teams and gets your business permanently, irreversibly banned from the platform.
Section 4. The risks and rewards. Knowing those massive consequences, you've got to wonder why sellers take these risks in the first place. Let's weigh them out. The immediate gratification is undeniably tempting, I'll give it that. First off, you completely skip the tedious work of creating a listing. No photography, no copywriting.
Second, you instantly piggyback on existing reviews. If a listing has 1,000 five-star ratings, your offer suddenly gets all that social proof, meaning the product sells so much faster. Plus, you get instant SEO benefits. The listing is already on page 1, so you don't spend months grinding to rank it.
However, if your product isn't perfectly identical to the original, those short-term wins quickly morph into catastrophic losses. You'll get hit with buyer protection strikes, like A to Z claims where the marketplace refunds buyers directly out of your pocket. You get slapped with those IP and brand complaints we talked about. The platform will likely suppress your listing so no one can see it. And eventually, full seller account suspension. Your funds are frozen and your business just stops dead in its tracks.
Section 5. Rules for safe selling. To make sure your e-commerce journey doesn't end in that nightmare scenario, let's establish the absolute, non-negotiable rules for doing this safely.
Treat this as your mandatory survival checklist. Print it out if you have to. You must only latch on if your item is 100% identical. I'm talking strictly matching the brand, the exact size, the specific material, the color, the weight, and yes, even the packaging. Close enough is definitely not good enough. And furthermore, if the brand is gated or restricted, you must have explicit, documented authorization to sell their goods online.
So here is the golden rule that will literally save your account. If your item differs in even the slightest detail, you have to put in the hard work and create your own separate listing from scratch. It might take longer to rank, and you'll have to build your own reviews, but it is the absolutely only right choice if you want to build a sustainable, long-term business that won't get shut down overnight. I want you to take away this one defining rule. True latch-on selling is only about genuine, identical products. Anything else is just a fast track to policy violations, brand infringement, and losing your business entirely. Knowing the fine line between a smart shortcut and a fatal account strike is exactly what separates the professionals from the amateurs. So, looking at your own seller account right now, are you going to audit your active listings today to make sure you're on the right side of the rules?